Hey you guys, my name is Natasha and I am the color director at Code Salon, and I am going to be talking to you guys today about brows. So I am not an esthetician, but I do love my esthetician. Her name is Kelly. She works at Code also, and I know she'd be really sad if I overplucked my brows. So today all I'm going to do is be showing you guys how to simply groom them as well as fill them in based off of your hair color, complexion, and desired look. So I'm going to be using the ESUM Brow Kit, and inside the kit you're going to find your brow pencils. You're also going to find a nice brow grooming tool, trimmers, and then also some tweezers. Okay, so now that I have laid out all my tools in front of me, I'm going to grab my brow grooming brush, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to brush the hairs up so that way it can expose any really long hairs that need to be trimmed. Now I'm going to grab my trimmers and I'm just going to cut along the brows any of the hairs that are still poking up. Okay, so now that I have all of my long hairs on my brows trimmed, I'm then going to grab my ESUM brow pencil in brunette. The great thing about these pencils specifically is that they have a really fine point, and they also have a spoolie on the opposite side, so that way you can kind of comb through your brows and give it a little bit more of a natural look. So with brows, what the goal is that you want the arch of your brow to be pretty centered with the center of your eye, meaning that you want it to be in alignment with your pupil, and then the end of your brow should connect from your nose to your eye and then out here. So that's going to kind of be the guide. In terms of the center, some people like it to come in a little bit further than others, so it's going to be totally up to you in terms of how far in you want to make your brows come. I like to just keep it right along the nose so it kind of naturally contours in that way. However, it's totally up to you. I'm going to be using the brunette pencil on the outside of my brow, and then I'm going to be actually using the blonde pencil, doing a little bit of an ombre effect on the inner part of my brow. That way it will give a little bit more of a natural look. I also have dark roots and then I have a little bit of lighter ends, so it will really help to just really blend with my hair color as well as, you know, make it look cohesive with my look. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that I have the darker part on, you guys can see that the end of my brow is much more defined. So now I'm going to switch and use the blonde color and fill in the center. So I'm going to be using really small strokes to do that, just to make sure that it mimics kind of the look of my natural hairs. Okay, so now you can see I have a really nice defined brow, and like I said, I like mine to be a little bit more on the natural side. I don't like to have a super bold brow, especially on the center. So once you have completed that step, we then can use the other end of our spoolie and we're just going to comb. Okay, so now that we have filled in our brows, and I just want to show you the other one because I mean it already looks so much better. I can't even handle this. But now that we filled in our brow, we are now going to pluck. The key with plucking is you don't want to over pluck. So you're really going to use what you've filled in as your guide, and you are really just going to be plucking all the stray hairs that are nice in the center, and then anything that is extra below the brow as well as above the brow. So once you are done plucking your brows, we're now into our final step. So for the finishing touch, I'm going to be using the T5 ESUM brush. It's just a flat top brush, and I have a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand. I'm just going to dab it in, and I'm going to lightly outline my brow underneath. And this is just going to really highlight that area. So I'm just going to distribute the product and define that front part, and then I'm going to flip it over and use the more flat side and just kind of brush it down. All right, so now that I have completed the concealer underneath the brow, you can see it just highlights the brow bone and gives the overall shape a really crisp, clean look. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is brow color and shade. So if you are someone that has never filled in your brows, but you want to try and start doing it, I would definitely recommend going with a lighter shade. So that would be the blonde. If you are someone that really likes that bold, defined brow, where it's a part of your style or your look, or you have really dark hair and maybe you over plucked or tweezed and you really want to fill that in, then I would recommend going with the ebony, which is the black. So definitely based off of your style and your look, I would choose a pencil that is going to work best for you. I like to do the combination just so that I get the softness around the front and then I get a little bit more definition through the ends of my brows. The other thing to take into consideration is your hair color, of course. If you are brunette and you're just like, I don't know which one to get, just get the brunette. You know, it's always easiest to match your brow pencil to your hair color and what you would describe your hair color as. So don't feel intimidated by it and just go for it. This is an amazing brow kit. I would highly recommend it to anyone, and let us know if you have any questions, and thanks so much for watching.